I just saw some lady, some woman in my neck of the woods where I grew up in Dallas, like lit her boyfriend on fire at the gas station.
We're doing too much.
She took waiting to excel to the next level. She literally threw gas. She went and got 50 cents of gas, doused him in it while he was sitting in the car, and lit that nigga on fire.
She was waiting to go scorched earth.
Drove away. Like they tried to stop her. She shoved some chick to the ground, drove away, and then the nigga died like days later. So now she's in jail for murder. Like she's awaiting trial.
Sweetie, it's not that serious. He has one penis, right? It's not like he's got like six. Like he's one human. It's one guy on one weird planet. It's not that serious to go to jail. So now he's a burn victim and you're about to do life. Congratulations.
He did.
Oh, did he die?
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's dead. All right. I guess your mission was accomplished there, but was it worth doing life? I mean, I don't know. There's two things I don't want to go to prison for a dude. Another woman and money.
Yeah.
I never want to be so mad at you, I burn me.
Yeah, and in your life over this shit.
Right. Now I got to do life because you're an asshole? No, thank you.
Yeah, let me.
No, thank you. I'm cool. I mean, I'm mad, but like, I'm not. I want to go do 25 to life in prison because I'm so mad. Like, okay.
We got to find a better way of being petty. Like,
we got to find a better way of being petty that doesn't result in you going to prison.
Right. If I want to get a lick back, okay, like you have some righteous indignation. You might even really deserve some kind of justification.
You may deserve
handle this with writing an angry email to their boss, like trying to get them fired, cancel culture, try to get them fired, or they sue somebody.
Yeah, I get it. I get the anger, I get the rage, and I get the wanting of the revenge. I'm not saying the desire for it isn't there or important or necessary. I'm just saying there's very, very few reasons I want to do life in prison for. And one of them ain't going to be a dude.
Yeah.
I do life in prison. It's because I stole like 50 million from a bank account and I still know where it's stashed and I'm going to be able to get out in time to use it. All right, then maybe I'll do 5 years.
Yeah, or at least my homies and family know where it's at. And
like the homies know where it's at, break me off a piece, pay for my attorney, get me out and set me up. Okay, I'll take a lick. But like over some like I'm so mad at this dude shit, like no, bro, there's no dick in the world worth me doing 25 to life. You got me, man. I'm the wrong girl, not me. Respect my credit score. Sorry, I keep that shit cool, so I'm not in a situation where I'm burnt out on some dude. Will I be upset, mad, devastated? Sure. Doing life? Nah. Nah.
I ain't doing life over your ass. That's can we just adopt that as
no dick in the world worth that?
Because you got dude like Lil Boosie just came out and said such he's like, yo, if you kill another nigga over pussy, over a woman, you're a pussy ass nigga. I was like, finally Lil Boosie says some shit that I agree with, because like back in the day, it used to be the case that like the common refrain was, I don't fight over females. Like, I'm not going to get in a fight with you over this chick, especially I'm speaking back when I was in high school in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
But now that's what these kids are fighting over, and they can't just fight. It's got to be.
Yeah, like it's not your wife. You know what I mean? Like I understand even getting into a fight over like someone who's your wife and it's your homie. Like that's a different. But like just like some boyfriend girlfriend nonsense. Like, dude, out of here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not the one for that foolishness.
And niggas can't just fight one-on-one. It's got to be jumping, and then it's got to be
jumping and shooting. Well, because nobody wants to get beaten up and ends up on World Star. See, back in the day, you could just take a beating and that was the end of it. And then everybody went home and, a few days later, you played baseball together or something and you were cool. But it's not like that anymore because we don't really have communities that know each other like that. The parents don't know each other. Like, I mean, we all got into fights when we were little kids, but 9 out of 10 times we got into fights with other kids that our families knew. So at the end of the day, the parents talk, they slap us both and we're all grounded. And that was the end of it. But now, parents don't know each other, not working as communities as much as we used to. So now it's like beef between people instead of like a stupid issue between a couple of knuckleheads of families who know each other from the neighborhood. I mean, our families weren't fighting each other. They slapped the shit out of us for acting like idiots. And then we both were crying and we're both grounded. Both sides. No parent was like, my kid, your kid. It wasn't like that. They were like, these two idiots got into a fight at school today. You're both grounded. That was the end of it.
Very true. I just don't see parents acting like that these days because it's the helicopter parenting type shit where
I want to be your
my
friend. I
kid
want
can
to
do
kick
no
it with
wrong.
you.
Yeah, my kid can do no wrong. And so I'm not going to discipline my kid. And if they got into a fight, even if they started the fight, I'm going to try to make it somebody else's fault.
Right. Just ridiculous at this point. Discipline doesn't mean you don't love the child. It means you're teaching the child the difference between right and wrong and when to have fear so that they learn fear from you in a healthy way and they learn love from you in a healthy way instead of going out into the world and learning it out there. Because you're going to learn it. It's just a matter of when and how. Now, the world is a tough place. I'm not saying you should be so tough on your child because the world is so cruel. I'm going to teach you cruelty. Like, no, the home should be the safest place for the child, right? You come here for peace. But I'm going to set you up to prepare yourself for what's out there because not everything out there is gravy and not everything out there is going to be good for you. And if you don't learn fear from me, you will learn it from a police officer who puts his foot in your ass, right? You could learn it in prison or you could learn it here grounded. It's up to you. But either way, you're going to learn fear. Or you're going to get popped in the mouth because you're mouthing off because you've never been taught parameters. Or one day you're going to come across somebody who's going to knock your teeth out of your head because they don't want to tolerate it. You're going to learn it. How do you want to learn this lesson? Because you're going to learn it.
Speaking of lessons people need to learn, I've noticed a trend going on with hip hop concerts specifically where fans are rushing the stage and getting on stage. And instead of getting kicked off, one rapper, Lil Durk, was it Lil Durk? No, Playboi Carti. The fan got on the stage and he embraced the fan, let the fan sing the song with him, encouraged the fan to go crowd surfing and shit like that, right?
So then it was set up. They allowed that fan to go on stage.
They made it seem like the security was really trying to stop the guy, and then Playboi Carti was like, no. And now it seems like, because he did it and went viral for it, all these other rappers have to do it. And so most recently, Lil Uzi Vert was at Outside Lands, which is, San Francisco's festival. And the same thing happened. And my thing is someone needs to tell these people no, because eventually you're going to have a bunch of people.
Somebody's going to take it too far.
Yeah. And thank you for pointing that out. Maybe some of this shit was set up.
I always think it's set up. What did I tell you about the Will Smith thing, right? Set up. Did you see the clip I sent you from that comic?
I saw the clip you sent.
Did you see it? It is almost verbatim.
I still think it was real.
You still think it was not staged, even though it's verbatim of a script from a movie you saw with your eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there are certain things that are stranger than fiction. Stranger than fiction.
So even though you admit, you concede that I sent you a link to a movie clip that has the same situation played out in the movie as what you witnessed with your eyeballs in the Will Smith Chris Rock situation, you still think the Chris Rock Will Smith situation was not staged?
Yes. I was the first one telling people it was staged because I was like, yo, there's a whole art and science to making a slap look real. And you slap the side of your leg with your opposite hand that you're doing the slapping with to give it that sound and shit. And the fact that the camera was directly behind Will Smith, where you wouldn't be able to tell if they were doing a fake slap or not, right? But when you see the other angles, when you see the reaction, you see his left hand is not, out there. Plus, what the fuck does Will Smith stand to gain from slapping this nigga? Sometimes art imitates life. Sometimes life imitates art.
But the art came first.
I know. So sometimes life is imitating the art.
Okay.
I do give you credit for pointing out that is a strange coincidence.
So it is a very strange coincidence to you that the same exact situation you saw played out in front of your eyeballs by Will Smith and Chris Rock is what you witnessed from the movie clip I sent you that was from 3 decades ago.
Wouldn't be the first time. How many times has The Simpsons predicted some shit?
And they were right.
Yeah, years in advance. Donald Trump being president, shit. There's even some shit about how The Simpsons had some 9/11 references beforehand.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, and and it was correct.
Yeah, oddly, very
But you think in this case it is not?
I think he did slap this fucking guy.
Even though Chris Rock's ticket sales have catapulted, even though the publicity on this,
unless Will Smith's getting a piece of that ticket sales action.
Well, I mean,
If he's a
you
producer,
think people aren't going to go see his next movie? You think people aren't like? Of course, it has. It has given them more marketing than you could have paid for.
he had movies canceled.
For now,
Okay.
he'll get it back. He's not canceled. He just had films canceled.
Yes. And yes, there is a distinction. He is not being canceled. He had some movies get canceled. And I think
there is a
some of them
distinction.
do that because those movies weren't even going to come out until next year anyway. They were in production.
All I'm saying is there's a distinction. And that distinction seems to be based on something that was scripted 3 decades ago. Just saying. Almost verbatim.
Word.
So you think that Will Smith coincidentally, word for word, had a beef with Chris Rock on a stage based on getting clowned, and it was just a coincidence that the same words came out of their mouths based on a movie script from 3 decades ago that you saw with your eyeballs?
Might have been a fucking really surreal moment or some shit. I don't know.